Hey, you want to see something really scary?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
What's blood for, if not for shedding?
Welcome to Fright Night.
Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Shad.
This week we're covering Diabolic.
These blackouts are ruining my life.
Hey, Luis! Honey, hey!
I can't live like this.
I found some healers from your old church. There is one last thing we can try.
You have called upon us because we are healers of the natural order. Joseph Smith promised his converts of the true Mormon faith visions of the Lord. Some people feel euphoria. Some are anxious. Some feel impending doom. Elise.
There's lots of memories flooding in.
Mother confessed to seeing a spirit latched onto you. You can feel it, can't you? Whatever that thing was, it's free now.
How does it feel?
How does it feel?
Do you feel, Heavenly Father?
Mercy is grace!
Flesh give birth to flesh. Spirit birth to spirit. Help me!
So this is religious horror.
Dun dun dun.
Which is already scary within itself.
Yes.
Right?
we're slowly getting towards that Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. This is, the movie starts off with based on real events, which one of the woman that wrote the story, Tisha Manson, was part of the FDLS. And if you don't know what that is, that's the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Say that 3 times.
That's the group that's more extreme than the regular Mormons.
So there's a mix of religion and supernatural-ish happenings. There's a lot of little things in here. I feel like one direction needed to be. It's already scary because it's religious horror, and I love me some like Mormon-esque,
Everybody out there in the long dresses and the like the Quaker looking things.
It's already difficult. So there's 3 writers. Tisha Manson was one of the co-writers.
And then Mike Harding, and then the other writer was the director and producer, Daniel J. Phillips. Now, in this one, cast-wise, we have Elizabeth Cullen as Elise. She's the main character who's going through everything. She's going to be in that Evil Dead Wrath coming up this summer, too.
Interesting.
Let's have John Kim as her husband, boyfriend. Wasn't quite sure on that one, but they're in a relationship and have been for a long time.
So her boyfriend. We're going to say boyfriend.
We'll say boyfriend. And then we have her friend that comes with her to go out into this thing they're going to do is played by Mia Chalice, and she plays Gwen. That's... I don't think I've had a good enough friend that when I'm like, yes, I will accompany you out into the middle of the deep, dark woods, hundreds of miles from civilization, into a old shack where we're going to do some very strange ritual to try and help clear you of your problems.
So her therapist, the movie begins with it being in the past, right? So, You experience, you see what the main character goes through, and the ritual that she has to endure, which you already, there's a little eerie-esque element to it, that's right off the bat just like, oh, this is going to be like a supernatural thing. And then it moves forward into present time where, like you said, she is with her boyfriend, living with her boyfriend, and it shows you what the kind of a couple of days of her life is, and she constantly has blackouts.
Yeah, where she will wake up and has just done something really intense, like dig 50 holes in the backyard.
Yeah. And then her therapist is like, you know what you should do? You should go back to where this all started, where you were rescued from that FDLS, situation. Worst therapist ever.
You should go back to the place that started all of your nightmares. That would be great.
To find some miraculous cure. I'm like, couldn't you just, I don't know, let her go see maybe some kind of like brain specialist? I don't know.
You would think that'd be a thing, but no. I guess you don't have a movie where she just goes to the doctor and they go to a regular psychiatrist.
Movie ends. The end.
I've always thought that would be a great one, where they just, the horror, it's not like a little horror short, it's only like 10 minutes long. They just do the obviously smart thing and then like, they just drive off.
Yeah. They were having like some weird baptism thing where they're like dunking her in water over and over again, and they're like saying like random girls' names, and then an order from the high supreme whatever Mormon dude like comes through, and they tell her like she's the one, and then some weird entity thing like kind of like takes her over when she's under the water, and then it's like, and then here we are present day. So my thing with this film is, my issue is, some of the acting is not the best, and I feel like it's here or there, like, and it's not the main characters. I feel like it was more maybe the older characters, and then you have obviously the whole FDLS thing, right? Yeah. So that's already like a situation, and then you have, the boyfriend and the best friend go out into, like you said, the middle of nowhere. Like, also the boyfriend's not like, hey, maybe this isn't the best, like, thing to do. But while they're all there, you find out that the boyfriend has been messing around with the best friend this whole time. And they actually have a plan to like, oh, let's get her healthy first, so then we can leave her. So then we can both end this relationship as friend/boyfriend, and then we can be together. Which that adds another thing. There's just too many things happening. But I guess the whole point is to like push this person to the edge. But isn't she already on the edge? She's a survivor of this FDLS. Now she's been having these random weird blackouts where she's doing like weird things, right? She's frustrated and doesn't know what the hell's going on. And then when she gets there, I guess there was some clarity on her part, because she starts having like small flashbacks of her life there, and she starts seeing that she was like really close friends with another girl, and then that develops into something else. I wonder what part from Tisha was based on real part. Just the FDLS part?
I'm going to assume the part that don't involve the demons.
That's the real part.
That's the real part.
Spoiler alert.
Everything else was made up about the Mormon cults and that. It's just the demons that are real.
That was the real part. It wasn't the trauma demon. It was an actual demon. But spoiler alert, it's not a demon-esque. It's a revenge story. It's the Fear Street Witch 1666, where it's like, oh, it's a witch. It's always a witch. And the witch's name is LaRue. And LaRue, they go through this ritual ever so often, and she consumes these bodies, and they trap her in the body. And that's why she's having blackouts and is doing this all weird thing, because she's carrying this witch within her, which I guess is the only way to, like, keep her at bay. Because if she's unleashed, it's like when they start explaining all of this, I was like, oh, this is a ring. Like Samara was tied to the tape, and you couldn't release her. I'm sorry, she was tied to the well. You couldn't release her from the well. That was a bad idea. What a spoil, not a spoil, but what a twist in that movie, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing. So she's tied to this body. She can't be released, of course, because she goes back to get answers. She has this FDLS mom and son duo who are looking for a wife, and they're like, oh, this girl is going to be your wife. Like, you were into her before, son. That actually relationship between the son and the mom was the most interesting relationship to me in the whole movie.
Yeah, because you could tell that the mom was very much like in control, and he was just doing what he was told. But, you know, she kind of shamed him because, you know, you're a grown, like, probably 30-year-old man, you're not married, which makes you like an old, disgusting bachelor in that group, apparently.
Especially,
like, oh my God, how could you not be married? You're almost 30 years old.
It's like Jebediah has 5 wives, and you have 0 wives.
He has 5 wives and 35 children. You have no wives and no children.
But if no one knows, like, the thing about the Mormons and all that, that's how you're going to get into heaven. Like, you can't get into heaven if you don't have, like, the wives and then the 29 kids. Like, that's part of, like, the whole, like, getting to heaven thing. You gotta have a big
family and all.
And the scene, once she knows the mother did something bad, like, she released this entity because she knows that wasn't, like, the right thing to do. Even though I was like, why did you do it in the first place? But okay. She, like, sacrifices herself. She tries to sacrifice herself. So then her children, her ancestors, well, not her ancestors, but her family doesn't have to have, like, the dirty hands on them. So they don't suffer. But the sacrifice was not accepted.
Yeah, it didn't go over well for her. They don't really say much what happened to her later on, but you got to assume she's going to have to deal with some problems because, you know, you've got LaRue running around now doing God knows what in the woods. And eventually she's going to run out of things to do in the woods, and she's going to come flying out after everybody else.
Yeah. And, you know, you come to find out that the reason why she was chosen to hold LaRue was because, you know, you've seen all the flashbacks once, of course, like, reveal at the end of the movie. Oh, haha. She actually was in a relationship with her close friend. You know, they were kissing friends.
Yeah.
And the kissing friend she told on her. She got taken away, which is why she was being sacrificed to have LaRue, like, put into her because she ends up killing the friend. And it's like a whole thing. And it's just like, oh, well, there you go. You are a tainted person, so that's why we're going to put...
That explains all the digging. She had the memories of her friend, and she was subconsciously trying to dig up her friend when she was at the other place. And, you know, it's not that the movie really is bad. It's just that it's a lot of build-up for a very little payoff on it.
And it's a slow burn. It's a very slow burn.
This is another one of those ones that would have probably made a pretty good 35 minute Tales from the Crypt kind of thing.
I agree. This would have been a Tales from the Crypt-esque episode. Not that it was the worst movie I'd ever seen. No. I was already in. Once there's, like, I'm about the possession, right? Yes. Not so much like witch, because I'm tired of, like, the whole witch thing, but like possession. Okay, I'm in. You know, a lot of movies that have been coming out within the last, like, couple of years are all like, oh, there's, like, trauma. There's a lot of trauma. You got, like, you know, Oddity,
Trauma Witches, Trauma Demons,
Hokum, and which is the same director, obviously, from those movies. Like, those kind of movies, like a lot of trauma, you know, films that are coming out, and, you know, religious horror is also, like, becoming more and more. But I'm like, oh, there's Mormons? Check, you got me. There's possession? Check, okay. But I feel like they kind of lost their way. And it just needed to be a little cleaner and concise.
A little tighter, you know.
And maybe a little shorter, like you said, and not such a long, like, dried, like,
drawn out burn,
yeah.
It's a slow burn, but sometimes that pays off well. But it's not like I said. It's not that it's bad. It's just that it's just okay. You know, I don't hate it. I don't really especially love it either. You know, it's if I was giving it a grade, it'd be a solid C. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like it's fine. If you stumble across this on cable and watch it, you won't be mad.
And then there's no one that I feel sympathy towards. So there's no final girl boy situation. Like that's not obviously applied to this film. You hate everybody.
Yeah, the boyfriend and the friend are cheaters and liars.
Yes.
She's
a murderer.
She's a murderer. She killed her friend just because, you know, she couldn't face up to being, you know, in a relationship with her because of the pressures of the church. Which I know. Well,
she kind of threw her. She kind of messed up her whole thing because she and the friend were, you know, kissing it up and meeting and doing things. The friend got scared, went to the church and said, "Hey,
someone
this one
saw them."
It was the guy, the guy with the mom.
Yeah,
yes.
He saw them.
He reported them. Yes, and then the girl, as opposed to being like, "Oh yeah, this is happening,"
she recanted immediately and is like,
"She made me do it. She's evil. It's all her fault."
Yeah,
and then they literally, the worst thing is when they shun you. That's what literally put this girl over the edge. Her family shunned her, so it's a shunning, like a silence.
Yeah,
they like. That's it. You're disowned, and then they take you away, and you never see your family again. And then they do whatever, you know, they're gonna do. And she was very upset by that, and that's why she goes back to kill the girl that told on her because of all that. But she a murderer at the end.
So yeah, it was kind of hard to sympathize with anybody on it.
The witch, I mean, she's just doing what Hollywood witches do, right?
She's just living her witch life.
She's a woman that was scorned in her lifetime, and she vows to the church that she will continue her tyranny after death. And you know what? I love a good, like, I'm going to continue doing these things after I'm dead kind of story because the vengeance is just so strong. It's never going to end. You always have a story, you know, which is like, is there going to be a part 2? Because this witch obviously was not put to rest.
Yeah, these witches are not happy.
She's going to come back. LaRue's going to come back and she's going to consume somebody else. And you know what? I have a note here. It says skeleton key equals more problems. So everyone should know when you are in a horror film and there's a skeleton key, throw that shit in a lake. Like, do not go investigating.
You don't need to know what that key opens because you know what it opens? Death, murder, destruction. That's what that key opens. It doesn't open it and then there's like a big happy pillow and a cat back there. You know, a big fluffy pillow with a cat sitting on it.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing cute on the other end of that. And then and my other note says bone murder. So someone got murdered by a bone.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess depending on which bone it's sharp, you can just dig that right in, right?
You can just smash them with a big bone, arm bone, skull. You can get a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for anyone. Not one person. There's not even like a random like cat or dog in this where I'd be like, oh,
well, you know, and even like the guy and his mom, you know, I feel a little bad for him because he just did what he was supposed to do back at the time, which was tell when he sees somebody doing something unclean and ungodly.
I guess, yes, but at the same time he was jealous because he wanted to get with Elizabeth Cullen's character.
He didn't completely tell it because he was like, oh no, I'm so freaked out by this. It was more like, I'm mad, that's why she's not into me.
Yeah, which is like, okay, well, I'm sure there's other women in the compound, dude. Like, she's not the last woman on Earth. Like, but no.
I mean, there's only so many people in that compound, and you know she might already be married to 3 other people. So
I mean, Jebediah has 5 wives. Can't they loan a wife? Like, go next door and loan. Like, hey, can I have some sugar? And also, is Rachel available? Like, you know,
can I borrow a cup of wife?
Can I borrow a cup of wife? Exactly. Yeah. Do that. But overall, you know, I give it 1.5 knives.
I give it 2. Like I said, it's interesting enough, but it just needed to be paced a little better. It was a little long for me.
I do like my 1.5 knife goes towards there are some like unsettling moments. So they all go to all those unsettling moments. Yeah. The digging, when just the fact the dirt under the nails is just already gross to me. Like that's already like, oh no, you know. That's just horrible. And then your clothes are all dirty. Ugh, right? Like, not good. But yeah, well, check it out.
It's going to be available for purchase on DVD and Blu-ray on May 25th. And it's probably already on some streaming services now, or if it not, it'll be on there very soon.
Yeah, check it out. And if you see it, happen to just go into the comments and let us know, did you like it? Did you not like it? How'd you feel about it?
We'll definitely have to tag this one with a spoiler.
Well, thank you so much. Well, for sure.
And we will be back later on this week. We will have another episode this week covering a classic horror film, classic made-for-TV horror that we just recently watched. And we'll be back with that later this week.
You will not be disappointed. Yes, I forgot to mention right after my name that this is a bonus episode, guys.
We're just throwing this one in a little extra.
Well, thank you so much for joining us at another episode of Jump Scare, the horror podcast. Stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.